Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I hope that you'll enjoy yourself and that you'll subscribe, become one of our squad, and be the encourager. Leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Today we're going to use some new products. We're going to use the Kristen Leanne Urban Decay Kaleidoscope Dreams palette. And we're going to use Pixi Glowy Gossamer in Delicate Dew. I know you guys are interested in those. We're going to play with them. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, then go ahead and keep watching. So jumping right into this. When I filmed this video before, my hair was annoying me so bad, and so I'm gonna just not even put up with it today, and I'm gonna use, this is so cute. This is by Vintage Cosmetics. It comes out in Ulta in March, and look, you can make little bunny ears. Anyway, it's for, you know, washing your face, doing your makeup, whatever, and holding your hair back. So I'm going to use that today. This was a request by one of my beautiful viewers. She said, can you make a look around this lime green color in the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope Dream palette? So that's going to be the one that we want to focus on. But we're going to do a whole bunch of other stuff and use a lot of the other colors. First, I'm going to take my Esom S33 brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of color, the orange color, to put in my crease. This brush works so that you can either put a dedicated color in there or you can blend it out. It's a really multi-purpose brush. And the way I do it is I blend the color in my brush first so that I won't get that, well, you know how sometimes mattes, you go and you put them on and there's a big blob of color where you first put your brush and then you can't blend it out. If you blend it into your brush first, that will prevent that from happening. So it's really important to me to have a mirror or a plastic piece so that I can blend my color into my brush. And I do it where it coordinates so that when it's closed, that pigment is sitting on top of its shadow. It also helps you save pigment, even though it's like micro pennies. It helps you save pigment, and you can dip your brush into that pigment and use it again. Did you see how nicely that deposits the pigment? This is a really good brush because you can get like a cut crease with it, or you can do it like I am where it blends the color out, and I really like that aspect of this brush. One of the things I do when I first take my brush into the crease to do the crease color is I take it and I sort of lightly dab it around, and then I'll swirl it. That also helps to disperse the color without having that, you know, big blob of color that you can't move. You just bring it into different areas and then you can blend them together. I hope you understand what I mean. Hope that makes sense. Next, I'm going to take my MAC 252, and I want the purple on the outer edge. So I'm going to place this in the purple by dabbing several times to get my color. I'm not dragging it back and forth. I'm just dabbing it. I'm going to knock off the excess on my mirror, and then I'm going to put it in the outer corner with a tapping motion to sort of lay it down. And if you tap it, you'll get less fallout, like almost no fallout. Tap it on, push it into your base, whether it's concealer or some kind of primer. And I did have a couple of specks of fallout. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to blend it inward, again with a light motion. I just don't want to deal with a lot of fallout. This is Beauty Junkie's Pro Blending Brush that I'm going to use to kind of blend it inside. Again, I'm going to tap it into place here, and then I'm going to drag it just a little bit. And then, because I want the color to be even more vibrant, but I don't want to fool with having a lot of fallout, what I'll do next is lay down some of the purple with my same 252. I'm going to wet it. You can use any setting spray for this. I'm going to wet it, and then I'm going to place my color on. You can see how vibrant that is. I've laid the area when it was dry, and now I'm coming back with it wet to place some color on. These colors are gorge. Anytime you have a little bit more than what you want, just take your finger or whatever you want to use and draw it upwards to like where you would V your eye. You'll blend it out later, it'll be fine. I'm going to go in and blend the edges right now with this is either 217 or Beauty Junkies. It's probably Beauty Junkies. I am having a lot more fallout than I've had before this. I haven't had really any fallout to speak of in the other times that I've used this palette, but today I am having fallout. Today everything is challenged. My hair is challenged. The first primer that I used on my eyes was the Lorac primer, which I've never used before. And I know my friend Katie Marie really likes the Lorac primer, so I thought, oh, I'll use that. But it just creased like a booger on me. So then I had to wipe it off, start over. I'm just blending this a little bit because it will probably annoy me if I don't. When you go to wipe off excess pigment under your eye, take a big loose powder brush, push it down to your eye, and then make a really quick jerking motion up and out, up and away from your face, up and out. You'll just sort of like flick the pigment all over. Have it on your walls, whatever, you'll just flick it away. Again, I like to compact it. I like to flick it up and out. I'm making a more pronounced thing. I just go like this. I like to flick it away from me, and when you do this, you're kind of just picking up the pigment and flicking it instead of like rubbing it across your eye or something. The next thing I'm going to do is apply this green, and I'm going to use my Esom W23 for this. And I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush first because, you know, with the outer V, I didn't because you want to really diffuse it. And this color I want to pack on. I don't want it migrating. You'll see in a minute what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to go over the purple just a little bit. I'm going to pack this on. And I'm going to go back as many times as I need to pack it on the whole lid. And again, I place it with dabbing motions because when you have a shadow that's wet, if you drag your brush, you go like this and drag your brush, the pigment won't follow your brush. It'll get splotchy, it'll come off, and you won't be happy with that. Doesn't this kind of remind you of Mardi Gras? Again, I'm going to pack it, start where the colors meet. And then I'm going to pack it, and I got to be careful on my inner corners because I do have hooded eyes. I have a lot of wrinkly stuff there. And I'm just going to tap it in. What I want to do next, and what you may have seen in my previous video, because I was wearing it, is put the navy blue in here and use it as a transition on my lid to blend the purple to the green. I'm going to use this Esom S33 because it has the ability to both deposit concentrated color, if you use it really carefully on the tip, and to blend it out. And I just want a little bit, and I want it blended, so I'm going to use this brush. And again, I tap it in the color, and then I load it in my brush in the area that corresponds to where this would be if I closed it, so that I'm not screwing up the pigments. And then I'm just lightly taking a back and forth motion to kind of spread that and blend it. Lightly tapping it in there, spreading and blending. You see it's sort of mermaidy. You just have a very light layer. I know my my stuff's not blended out yet. but you have a very light layer that makes a nice little transition piece. Maybe you can see it on this because it's more in the light as I'm doing it. See, it makes a gradient. It's kind of really cool. Well, I think it's cool. It makes a gradient there. And it's probably not a gradient that you might normally think of, but I just like it. I love me some good blues. Love me some good purples. These are, all of these colors are really pigmented, and I just think they're fantastic. I think this might be one of my favorite crease brushes. This is the Stilazzi L215. This has got just the perfect combo of splayed outness so that you don't have to deposit a lot of color, but you can blend a lot. And I'm just going to take that and blend. I'm just going to come in with the faintest hint of orange. I lightly touched it twice, blending that out, and I'm going to blend this. Just the faintest hint. You can probably see that some of my lime green has transferred down here, and I can wear lime green like right up at the waterline, but not down here because then it makes me look like jaundice. So I'm going to take care of that. Well, after I do some other things. Under my eye, I'm going to lay down some of this brown. It's not like the color my under eye is going to be, but I just want a little bit of brown, and I can't tell you why. I just do. Normally, one of the brushes I would use under my eye would be like a small smudge brush like this. This one is from Stilazzi. But the brown is not going to be my emphasis on the under eye. And I just want a little bit, though, because I think it'll help my under eye to look normal, because I have to be really careful with what I put. So I'm going to use this bigger W23 by Esam. Again, we're just going to pack a little bit on one side. And I don't want a whole lot, so I'm really going to blend really well. And then I'm going to push it up under the eye. And I'm drawing it a little so that, just to blend it out. I mean, I really just want the faintest hint of it. It's kind of a pinky brown. It's kind of nice. Anytime that you drag your brush, you will disperse more pigment around, and anytime you tap it, it will be concentrated. Actually, I really want to finish the upper first, so now we're going to switch back to the upper. I'm going to take this. This is Leo and Braxton. I'm going to take Braxton, and I'm going to take it with my finger, which, you know, I don't use my fingers often. Look at that. And I'm going to tap it on the blend here. And I'm going to kind of pull it to release more pigment. It's definitely a mermaidy kind of thing, isn't it? And then in my inner corner, I'm going to use the other color, the whiter color. I'm going to use my pencil smudge brush. This one's, oh, it's Beauty Junkies also, which you can find on Amazon. For the rest of my under eye, I'm going to use some of this vibrant cerulean blue, which is called LCW. And then I'm going to blend down here. I'm going to blend some more of the purple. Again, blending it into my brush. I don't want a lot of fallout. I'm going to push this. Well, let's show you. I'm going to push this up under my eye about where the whitish iridescent stops. This is MAC 239, which is a little bit bigger than this smudger. And I want a little bit bigger because I'm going to connect my V with the purple, and I do want it to be able to blend. So use a bigger brush, you have more to blend. Use a smaller brush and you have more concentrated color. I'm going to go with one more sweeping blend, just for good measure. Since I had to have fallout this time, which I'm not happy about, But it's not very bad. It's really not. I just was surprised because I didn't have it before. But, you know, I've been digging into the palette a little bit and the pigment's getting a little looser. But one thing you can do if you don't want to take your brush and wipe it away is take a piece of tape, wrap it around your finger with the sticky out, and you can sticky up the pigment. I'm going to lay down just a little bit more concealer because, girl, purple on purple. Anyway, I like the Kat Von D. This is my magic bullet that you can order online at Ulta. I like this because it controls, you can control how much concealer you have just by using the tip instead of having to have a ton when you already have some on. I like the Lock-It Concealer because I don't feel the need to have to powder after I use it. And powder under my eyes does not look good. Before I finish my eyes, I'm going to refresh my blush because it will drive me nuts. Again, I do the same thing. This is Warm Soul Blush by MAC. I do the same thing with my blush. Tap it in the lid to disperse it in the brush. And then go to town on the blush. And I use tapping motion because that way it will disperse and it won't get what I talked about in junior high with stripes of yucky blood. Before I finish my face, I'm gonna put on my mascara. I apparently didn't bring in a lash curler. I always use a lash curler. This is Cobra Curling Mascara by Osmosis. I love this wand. I can I don't know, I can do everything with this wand. I can leap tall buildings in a single wand. I can get really into the inner corner really well with this brush. I haven't been using mascara on my bottom lashes lately because my eye has been so runny from allergies. So that's why I'm skipping it. But I'm going to use this Marc Jacobs Eyeliner. And this is a purple color. What's it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's the deep purple one. And I'm going to kind of try to get some on my rim if my eyes aren't too runny. I am wearing, by the way, on my lips, I'm wearing Buxom Plump Liner and Hush Hush, and then I have Matte Beige by Pixi over it. These taste really good. And they apply so well. They have a really great spoon type of applicator. If you saw my lip products from 2017, you'll know that these are both favorites of mine from 2017 that they came out. And you can do your whole lip without having to redip and stuff. So I think it's brilliant. I like me some under eye highlight, so I'm going to use this color that I used at the inner corner. And I'm just going to do a little like at the arch. Again, just a flat synthetic brush. I wasn't really intending to go with a green iridescent look under the eye, but under the brow, but it kind of works. I'll probably follow up with the highlighter I'm going to use. First, I want to put a little bit more color in my face because the Warm Soul is my main blush because the eyes are so colorful. I want to keep the look subdued, but I just need a little bit more color. So I'm going to use Makeup Revolution All I Think About Is You Baked Blush. And I'm going to use this Real Techniques. Again, just get it in there, get it so that there's no scary blush stuff. And tap it. And while I tap, I rotate my brush to get, all the stuff off there evenly. I like to put a little blush up here. I think it helps for me to have a little bit more cheek color. You can do whatever you like. And today for highlighter, I'm going to use the Pixi Beauty Glowy Gossamer Highlight Duo in Delicate Dew. And I'm going to use this one, the pinky side. The same thing with my products as I do with everything else. Tap it in there. and put on a little highlight. I like to put some above the brow because it brings the attention up to your eyes, which, you know, may or may not be where you want it. Gotta go in one more time. It just wasn't quite as bright as I wanted. And I'm gonna connect those. I forgot to put eyeliner on my upper lash, or on my upper. It's slightly discombobulated when I film for YouTube, and I do everything out of order. I'm going to use this black in here, and I'm going to just use a powder liner. And what I want to do really is I don't really want to have a big liner and take away from the color that's up there. I'm just going to push this into my lash line like a tight liner, except I'm going to push from above. Just sort of to emphasize the lash line, but not take away from my color. Actually, I am going to tight line with this black powder. I did it the other day. I really like it a lot. Tight lining with a powder is so much easier than tight lining with a pencil. Well, for one thing, you don't have something sharp sticking in your eye. I think it gives a lot of definition to the lash line. You can see my eyes just running. So I'm not going to put lashes on today. I mean, I'm literally just going to go do some work and go to bed. And my eye is running really bad. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And whew. Thanks for stopping by. If you're not subscribed already, please join our crew. Give me a thumbs up. Be the encourager. And leave a comment. Tell me if you have the Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope Dreams palette or not. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.